Hello, friends. So, I am in the middle of experimenting. I have been doing this morning. I forgot to make one page pre-made, but that's okay. We'll do it together. One sample, not page. So what I have here is a bunch of blue tissue paper. And then I am testing out texture pastes or modeling pastes or whatever you want to call them. So we have the OG Liquitex modeling paste. I have put a piece of plastic over it because I live in the desert and everything gets dried out so fast, including me. So I do that to keep the moisture in. So I'm going to use some of this. I'm going to set this off to the side. I got in the mail these little 1 ounce jars of Ranger texture paste. So I've got opaque matte and I have a transparent matte. I also have a transparent gloss, but we're not going to do the gloss today because I think the gloss will be the matte, just glossy. So I'm going to try these as well. And then I have a broken china distress paint and an antique bronze distress paint. And I'm also going to do my turquoise blue Liquitex acrylic. And I'm going to use that with the Liquitex because I am curious how all of this works together. So I saw this or I heard about this really interesting technique where you do texture paste on a piece of tissue paper, and then when you glue the tissue paper onto your collage, the tissue paper disappears, which I already knew about, but when you have the texture on the tissue paper, the texture pops out, so it stays there. So I got all these ideas and I said, well, can you mix paint into the texture pastes? I mean, it's just a medium, right? It's based off of this stuff, I imagine. So can I mix them? I don't know. I'm sure that I could look on YouTube and find out, but unfun. So I have some stencils. I have a little Ranger, whatever these are called, palette knife. So let's do this. So the first thing I want to do is I've labeled this modeling paste raw. These are samples. These are control samples. That's what this is going to be. So I'm going to do this one first so it can be drying while I do all the others. So I'm going to do this stencil, and I'm going to get some of this on the back of my palette knife. That's probably a lot, but whatever. You only live once. So the interesting thing that I found out this morning is that the texture paste smells like fruit, which strangely made me want to eat Fruit Loops cereal. So I don't really know what that was all about. A little weird. All right, so I feel like that's enough of that. Oh, that's beautiful. So I'm going to set this over here and I'm going to let that dry. And I'm going to scrape this off and come right back. And next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the modeling paste with some acrylic. So I'm going to set these over here because we're going to go through all of that somewhere towards the end. I'm going to move that there. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that and a smudge of this. I don't know what I'm doing. So if you're watching this video and you're like, well, I can't use any of those things because those are real art supplies and I'm not a real artist and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't either. I bought this because I needed 2 other mediums from Michael's, and they were having a sale, like buy two, get one free. And I was like, ooh, modeling paste. I wonder if that's like the texture paste. Maybe I'll buy it and see what happens. So here we are, my friends. So also, I am not a professional artist in the least. I have a full-time job that has absolutely nothing to do with art. So there you go. All right. I'm going to use that paste right there to kind of glue this down. Glares everywhere. All right. Now, I mean, this is an acrylic medium, so I know that I am able to do this. I know that this is not like a super fancy technique that people are going to be like, whoa. No, I understand. I understand that this is the whole purpose of this stuff. But I am curious what it looks like compared to the other texture pastes that we have to try. All right, so I'm gonna lift this up. Maybe I'm gonna do this. Sweet. Oh, all right. There we go. Okay, so now I've got that. So I've got the modeling paste raw. I've got the modeling paste with acrylic paint. And then there's a modeling paste with distress paint. So let's do that one as well. So I'm going to use this blue because the bronze is like a metallic color, and I don't know. I just feel like this would be more, whatever. It'll be more something. Okay, so I'm gonna put a couple dabs there. Let's do this. We're gonna use this and that. So I'm gonna use this stencil, and I'm just going to and feel it up. Okay. So that's the modeling paste and the distress paint. Okay, I have to go clean all of this stuff up. So when I come back, things are gonna look a little different. All right, so now we're going to do texture paste transparent, texture paste matte. So let's do a little bit of transparent. That's a lot of it. Let's do a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to do bronze for both of these. I'm not going to use those scissors though to open up this bottle because that would take my hand off. So, okay. Oh. Sorry. I put my X-Acto knife blade down and it doesn't have a safety cover. But I've had that X-Acto knife for 20 years, so whatever. Okay, so here's the thing. All this stuff is really new to me. I've never really gotten into all of this. I don't feel like I got into it when I did this in my 20s. So now I'm in it. You know, I mentioned earlier how you may think that you're not a real artist, so you can't do this because it wouldn't be real, and that's just not even true. Like, the reason art stores are open to everyone and you don't have to have a membership is because it doesn't matter. Oh, this one, of course. Oh, yay. Aha! Okay, we're just gonna scrape this off like so. Good enough. I'm just gonna dab a blob there. That was a terrible idea. Don't ever do that, okay? Now we all know. Don't do that with the distress paint because now I'm bronzed Okay, so this is the transparent matte. So here's transparent. Here is this. All right, so, whoa, did not mean to do that. All right, transparent distress paint. And then we want to do opaque. Here, I'm just gonna wipe this up real quick because I don't want to accidentally mix the two, and then everybody will be yelling, "That's not science!" And then it'll all be a whole thing. Okay, so this is the opaque, and the distress paint. All right. So the interesting thing is the Ranger stuff smells like fruit. The opaque is super, super, super thick, as you can see. The transparent is very light and kind of creamy, and this is kind of whipped. And I'm just gonna reuse this one, and hopefully it doesn't, well, here, I'll just do it this way. I kind of feel like that I should take this transparent off. I know. Now the science is all messed up. But we'll remember that we did a little double duty over here. So the interesting thing I'm noticing right now is that the transparent kind of keeps the shimmer, and the opaque kind of gets rid of the shimmer, or tones it down maybe. So that is interesting right off the bat. Okay, so I'm gonna set that off to dry. So one rule that I have learned in my studies is that you need to clean up the texture paste immediately because it can clog the little holes in your stencils, and then your stencils aren't correct. So I'm gonna go clean all of this up. We're gonna let this dry. We're gonna see what happens, and I'll be back. And we're back. Okay, so these have dried. It's been a few hours. So this is what I have. I have the Ranger Transparent Matte. Let's see. Can you see that there are like some squares on this side and some circles on this side? You can see the circles. Yeah, you can see the squares. And then this is the opaque matte. So very similar. And then this is the modeling paste raw. So the one interesting thing is the modeling paste is much thicker, and it's more stout. So, and even out here in the desert, it took a while to dry. And then we have the modeling paste acrylic, which I actually thought it might still be a little wet. Again, it's pretty stout. The acrylic really, I mean, it looks nice. It's very crisp. The modeling paste with the distress paint is also pretty crisp and stout. And I was kind of curious if it was still wet, but I don't think that it is. So the most interesting one, this is the Texture Paste Transparent. The transparent stuff is like, it weighs nothing. This sheet, you can barely tell that anything is done to it. This is this paint. As you can see, it still has its sheen and its shimmer. This is the Texture Paste Opaque Matte. It does not have a sheen or a shimmer. It looks more like an Adobe orangey color. See the two? No sheen or shimmer. I mean, if you look, you can kind of see that there's sort of a sheen. And if you remember when we kind of mixed a little bit. So this is the transparent. So we have all of that. That's what it all looks like. Super interesting. But now we're gonna do something very interesting. I'm not gonna use these for the next stage of our experiment. So I'm gonna set those off to the side, and I'm going to bring in this book. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tear this like so. How are we going to remember what this is? Right. So this is modeling paste. So I've got some matte medium, and I'm just going to take some of this and a small paintbrush, and I'm just going to put this somewhere. Maybe I'll just put it right here. So I'm going to put this here, and from what I understand, you have to do both this and where you're sticking it, because that's what makes it transparent, supposedly. So let's try it. We'll put it there, and it's blue, so it's not going to be perfectly transparent, but there's nothing here. This is dry. Oh yeah, nice. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. No, it's down. So it's blue, so it isn't going to be perfectly transparent. If it were white, it would just be really transparent. Okay, so this is the modeling paste. And then this is the Ranger texture paste. So let's see. And this art journal is just an art journal. And what is an art journal? An art journal is where you try things, you experiment in it, and you can figure out what works for you and what doesn't. And some people sell their art, so they try things out in an art journal so that then they can go and make a piece that they want to sell later. I don't sell my art, I just do art. So I'll take you off. You can. Oh, it's just gonna stick to my hand. That's where we're at. Okay, neat. This is very cool. Okay, so that's the Ranger matte medium. All right, and then the transparent. So this is the transparent one. Can't really tell that it's transparent, but we're gonna put it in the center because I have an idea. I don't know if this is gonna work. Right now, what we are doing is about 3 YouTube videos worth of techniques that I saw. All right, is it really 3? Maybe 2. Okay, so I want this to go on here, like so. Okay, and then we're going to paste it down, like so. All right. I have no idea if this is going to do what I want it to do. I mean, I hope it does. I do like the effect that I've gotten. I like that the blue is still visible, but it's very muted. I'm digging on this, but now I do have this piece left over, so I'm going to put it up here because, again, we're just messing. Oh, right. This stuff gets reactivated with water, so that's gonna be really pretty. It's going to be turquoise. I believe it's peacock feathers, or maybe this is the Diane Reevely, which is Calypso blue or something. I don't remember. I would have to look, and it's over there, and I'm busy. So, oh yeah, this is cool, actually. Pretty neat. So the problem is, oh yeah, the problem is that this dried a little wavy, so it's hard to get it down there. So hopefully it'll stay down. And then this one, same thing, it's gonna come up because it's activated with water. It's not terribly permanent. Oops, I gotta do this side. Well, this bottle is got a little dirty. It's okay. No one cares. My hands are very dirty because I did some citrus solve and National Geographic stuff, which if you don't know about that, you should search that up because that's fascinating. And it was a lot of fun, but also a little messy. It's been a messy day today. All right, and I'm gonna put that there. Okay, so I have this modeling paste. I have this texture paste, opaque. I have not that. This texture paste, transparent matte. We're gonna let these dry, and then I'm gonna do the next step. Okay, I dried it with a hairdryer. I think it's good. These still feel like they might be a little moist, but I think it'll be okay. Maybe they aren't. I don't know. So here's what we've got. We've got the modeling paste. You know all this. Okay, so modeling paste, transparent, opaque. These, I'm going to put some of this on these and see what happens. I'm not sure how best to do it. I'm gonna need my water bottle. And here we go. I'm not gonna spray it though. That's the kicker. Do is kick it up like this, which means you're not really gonna be able to see very well, but hang tight. Oh, I need like a dropper. I think that would be way better than what I'm over here doing. What if I did spray it? I'm gonna put this piece of paper behind it. All right, and then I want to do that, and then I want to do this. Whoa. So here's my question. Is it going to resist because I used the matte medium? I think the answer is yes, as I look at this. Yeah. Well, this is a bummer. This did not do what I wanted it to do at all. So my hope was that it would run down and it would grab onto all of this. But I think because I used the matte medium, that won't work. So I think what I need to do is I need to use the sprays before I glue it down. This one turned out kind of what I was expecting. This one did not. Neither did this one at all. So this one didn't take it at all either. All right, well, I think I'm gonna call this experiment over. What if I blot some of this up? I mean, the spraying directly did okay. Yeah, see, it comes right up from that. This doesn't count because I didn't even get there any there. Yeah, I'm not. Oh, what a bummer. Well, let's see. It doesn't look too bad. It did kind of do what I wanted to on this, which is the texture paste opaque matte. And this one's definitely more like a clay, and this one is like a very light whip. So these are not the same thing. Unless this is just cut with something and then whipped, a lot of air in it, which might very well be. It also is very light compared to this one. Like the paper was very heavy. The tissue paper was very heavy when I had that one and not as heavy when I had this one. So, okay. I think I need to do the texture on a piece of tissue paper, then ink it, then put it on the page. And then that might give me what I want. But now we know. Liquitex modeling paste, texture paste, transparent, texture paste, opaque, both matte. I didn't do a glossy on anything, it's all matte. This is also the texture paste, and this is also texture paste but transparent. Well, that actually did stain a little. What's fascinating is the way this looks on my eyeballs here is way different than it looks on my computer screen over there, which I have set up so I can make sure that everything's in frame. This actually looks really great on my computer, which I bet if I took a picture of it, it would look really great. So there's a tip. I learned this in quilting. When you are laying out a quilt design, you take a picture of it and then you go and look at it. You do not just look at it with your face. And the picture helps you see what the quilt really looks like. And it is wonderful. It's a wonderful technique, trick, whatever. And it works the same way with collage, I noticed. So when I finished a collage, one of them back here, I took a picture of it and I was like, oh, I love that. But the picture looked way better than it did in person. So this looks way better on my computer, I think, than it does in person. So I actually really like this page when I look at it on a computer. I don't know what I'll do with it. I'll do something. Does this look better on a... No. Nope. Not even a little bit. That's... yeah. Okay. Well, there we go. There you have it. Now you know as well as I do. And I guess I will try to make tissue paper samples with spraying the ink before gluing them on the page and see how that works. All right, that's it. You've learned something. I've learned something. It's a great day. Peace out.